By the end of this video, you'll learn the powerful 3 laws to developing and improving your career. So, super fast intro about me. I'm the guy down here in the right hand corner of the video. My name is Chris McClure. I've worked in healthcare for about 15 years and currently work as a senior software engineer. Why I made this video? I've noticed there are a lot of videos online about career development, but none of them really explain things the way I liked. So I wanted to add my voice, and maybe my presentation style would relate to some people. I could also take an opportunity to rehash some of the hard lessons I've learned over the years in an effort to help you in your career endeavors. Well, anyway, that's enough about me. No more yapping, let's get started. So why the 3 laws are important? Most organizations have some sort of, dare I say, core values. Ugh, I know. There's a good chance that when I use the term core values, your eyes just roll out of the back of your head. Well, don't zone out on me. I'm going somewhere with this. Even though the term core values is wildly overused, it doesn't carry much weight anymore. When used correctly, core values are the foundations that the decisions for, say, companies, organizations, or even military branches are built on. So here's an example of core values from my personal experience that hopefully will make sense to you. So I went to Air Force basic training, and as you can see here, there's a picture of a 17-year-old goober version of me waiting to either get my hair buzzed super short or get my fancy BDUs. Now each morning at 4:45, we would wake up, make our beds, and march to PC. That's physical conditioning. Hundreds of trainees would stand at attention and say, I still remember to this day, the 3 core values of the Air Force. The values were integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Now, these are their principles, the laws that guide how airmen were to act, both during basic training and when they got out into the real world. It was kind of the foundation of the Air Force. So now let's flip back to you. By practicing these laws towards your career, it's going to make it very easy for you to make wise decisions. You can use them to guide you on your journey. So you're probably asking with some skepticism, how in the world did you come up with these 3 laws? Well, I worked a lot of places over the years, and as you can see from this map, I saw a great deal of this country of ours in my travels. Had great opportunities to work with people that were successful, top of their field, the kind of people I wanted to be like. And I noticed some similar traits among them. It's taken me a while, but I was able to boil those traits down to 3 laws of career development. Now, I reserve the right to add to this list as I go. I started with 3, but since it's my list, and over time, if I come up with a 4th or 5th, I'll probably add one. But we'll start with 3. Anyway, that being said, I feel really good about these laws, and honestly, I've tried really hard to practice them over my career. Well, they weren't so well structured for me in this format. They should work better even for you. Now note, I'm going to do a brief overview in this video. I don't want the video to be crazy long. I will be making more in-depth videos on each law later, so that I can take time to cite more examples and explain each law in better detail. Law number 1, make a career commitment. A commitment to developing your career and improving it. Not a commitment to your employer, your boss, or your job. A commitment to yourself. A commitment that says, I will develop my career and do what it takes to succeed. While all 3 of these laws are crazy important, if you aren't willing to commit to making a career your priority and commit to your professional success, then you might as well stop watching this video and resign your life to mediocrity and go check out some cat videos or something. While the other people are making money and getting the positions you want, you'll be stuck. You can't succeed if you aren't willing to commit to it. Now I want to be clear. What does this commitment mean? It definitely doesn't mean committing to a life of working 80-hour weeks and missing every weekend just to get a little extra bonus work in. It means you need to be crystal clear with yourself and make improving your career a top priority in your life. Now to conclude this point, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to develop your career and move to the top of your field. You're probably saying, Chris, I hate my career. What should I do if I don't like it? Just make a commitment that you're going to change careers and excel in a new field. Just commit to bettering your career, whatever that takes. It's totally worth it. Moving on. Second, make it easy for them to say yes. I think this is kind of a sales type thing, and I believe I heard it in a movie. I just don't remember which one. If you've heard this in a movie, put it in the comments. But I've practiced this law over and over throughout my career, and it works for getting what you want. Here's a great example from real life. Now, I'm using this when I was a radiology technologist. You can sub in your own career because it's not specific to when I was a radiology technologist. So we had just moved to a new city, right? We had moved to Florida from Kansas City. My wife got into law school and I needed to get a job. So I wanted to say, how can I get myself a job interview? So first off, your resume needs to be top notch. Got to make it easy for them to read. Highlight your strengths. Your resume won't get you the job, but it'll get you in the door for the interview. And honestly, most resumes suck. They're hard to read. They're full of junk. If you guys want me to do a video on creating a good resume, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to. Also, make sure to take the time to fill out every detail of the application. It's mind-boggling that I even need to mention that. But I've talked to some people from HR, and there are people that just don't fill out all the required fields on a application. And just don't be that person. Do it the right way. And then after you've applied, give it a day or two, and then get on the phone and call HR. You're going to want to be polite. You're going to want to keep it friendly. And you're going to ask them if your application was accepted in the system. Tell them you're very interested in the position and don't want to miss out. If the conversation's going well, tell them your story. Ask if there's anything you can do to help the application along in the process. Now, if things are going really well, feel free to ask for the contact information for that hiring manager. Warning, you got to make sure to take the temperature of the conversation. If it's not going well, the HR person isn't feeling it, don't press it. But 100% honestly, I've done this multiple times in tough markets. I've contacted the manager and at least scheduled myself an interview. There was one time, in fact, I was the only person that interviewed for the position because the manager didn't have time to set up the interview. Now, that was a different situation. He wasn't the best manager, but the idea was I was the only person that interviewed for the job because I was the only one that called. Moral of the story is make it easy for the hiring manager to hire you. So let's recap, shall we? I did all the legwork. My resume was good and stood out. My application was 100% completed. I contacted HR, so it was easy for them to verify, one, that I wanted the job, was qualified, and two, that I wasn't a total weirdo. And in the cases where I did talk to the manager, it was easy to get myself an interview because I was on the phone with them. Just do what it takes to give yourself a chance for them to say yes. Now, going forward, a great percentage of my videos will have other examples of this one law, how to make it easy for people to say yes to you. Practical, real examples to give you the edge in the job market. So do subscribe, blah, 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 so you don't miss out on content. Let's get to the third. Treat your career like a campaign. This one's a little more abstract. What does it mean? Okay. Usually I hate it when people do what I'm about to do. I'm going to give you a definition from the dictionary. But in this case, it makes sense. Definition number 2 is the one I want to highlight right there, the one in red. A connected series of operations designated or designed to bring about a particular result. So let's do an example of one. I'm a big college football fan, and as of the making of this video, Alabama just won the 2020 national championship. If you're not into football, I won't bore you with too many details, but let's say it's safe to say their team was really, really, really good. I'm a Nebraska fan, super jealous, and I really admire their program. But they know what to do. They didn't just win the national championship in one game. They won 12 games this year, one after another, until they completed their goal. Take it a step further, in the last 11 years, they won the national championship 6 times. That's astounding. They are on a campaign to be the absolute best college football program. They put together a connected series of operations designed to bring about a particular result. Now let's turn back to your career and see what we can do to apply this law. Okay, you want to take your career and create a campaign for it. Each action will build on the previous. So first, you get a job. Could be in a new career, could be in your same field that you're in, but you get the job. The next thing you do is you dive in. You want to become a productive member of the team as fast as possible. You volunteer for the hardest projects. Going forward, you take extra classes to fill in the gaps. You find yourself some sort of good mentor or teacher, someone who's done this before, to help you make good decisions and impart knowledge. You acquire extra certifications relevant to your career. Then as time goes by, you have reviews with your leader. You set powerful and detailed goals. You amass a huge amount of knowledge and experience. Your skills become sharp and marketable. You become crazy valuable in your industry, and hopefully your pay and benefits will increase, and you'll move up to higher positions in the company. And in the end, if you feel like you did everything right, but you still aren't getting the compensation like someone in your industry should, by the way, there's plenty of good ways to look up online what you should be getting compensated based on your experience and knowledge. I'll cover that in other videos. Guess what? You actually have two really good options, like real things you can do. One, straightforward, you can just go talk to your leader and say, hey, I've put in all this work, all this time. I think this is the correct compensation, and get some feedback. Maybe they can tell you why you're getting that or why you aren't. Or the other thing you can do is you can go out, test the open market, see what you're worth, go to some interviews. Because you treat your career like a campaign, amassing a huge amount of work and skills, you aren't trapped. You have options. You get to carve your own path. You are in control. I've heard Jocko Williams discuss this topic of life campaigns in a far more powerful and motivational way than I ever can. I'll put a link in the description so you can check out videos of him too. But like the other laws, I'm going to make more in-depth videos about this law as well. So let's recap. Let's wind this down. Law number 1. Make a commitment to yourself to develop your career. Law number 2. Make it easy for them to say yes. 3. Embark on a campaign to develop your career. Now, if you apply these 3 concepts, these 3 laws, and never watch another video again, or read another book about career development for the rest of your life, you'll still be ahead of the masses. These laws have worked amazingly for me when applied, and they'll do the same for you. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please feel free to like, share, comment, blah, 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 all the things that you're supposed to do on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it.